Well, hello everybody. In this video we are going to be doing a little unboxing and a little teardown on a Moen laboratory faucet. This one is the 64925, the Chateau. It's a two-handle. This one's going to have the drain parts in it as well. Now, as you can tell, it is in the brown plain box with just the sticker on the side. This is what they call the contractor pack or the job pack or contractor box package. It's not all fancy like some of our other faucets. This faucet's designed to sit on a shelf in retail and have consumers pick it up, turn around and look at it. These we buy in bulk. They come in a great big old box. Another thing you're going to notice about this is there's no straps. It's not wrapped in plastic or anything because this was in a sealed case. And I don't really remember, I think you get 4 of them in a box, but this is a large box. It's all taped up. There's no sense in making them all colorful and pretty for the contractors because we're going to buy it and put it in anyway. So let's see what you get in here. Well, okay, let's see what we get. Like I said, this is our Chateau, and one of our purchasing guys just pointed out that it says 64925 on here. Well, the 6 means it's in the contractor pack. So if you were to buy this from a hardware store or a plumbing supply place and it was in a pretty pack, it's not going to have that 6. It's just going to be a 4925 for the little Chateau double handle in chrome. So let's open our little box if we can get it open. And here again on these videos, I am not going to do a lot of editing, not going to do a lot of shooting, so you can actually see the raw of me taking it out of the box and some of the mistakes I might make, because some of these I haven't unpacked in a while. Looks like we get a nice pretty foam thing. I'm getting really happy about this. It used to just be a plastic, but this is actually a foam. I think this is an add-on because it's sitting at the top. These faucet companies must have realized that we use a lot of granite nowadays, and granite and the typical plastic grommet or washer or whatever base plate hadn't been working out too well. Over the past few years we've actually had to silicone or caulk underneath that plastic plate and basically glue it to the granite countertop. If we didn't, we'd have leaks. And I think maybe people might be a little messier than they used to be because throwing water all over everything. Anyway, that I believe was an extra that they put in here later, but we should be seeing these a lot. So we get our instruction booklet. Just like all the rest, tell you all the tricks, all the tools you might need. I'm not going to have an adjustable wrench in my toolbox though. Would never use it for anything. But yep, that's basically it. Now this is the whole kit. So this is not just the faucet and it's not just the drain, tailpiece, pop-up assembly, whatever you want to call it. It's both. This is if you've got a brand new sink or you want to just replace all of it. So you get your pop-up assembly here or your tailpiece. People call these things all kinds of different stuff. Now this one, if you can tell, it is plastic. It's got a plastic base and a metal top half. They call this the 50-50 or the half and half. It's half metal and half plastic. Some of your more expensive faucets come with a full metal pop-up assembly. I don't know much difference. I've never really had any problems with the plastic tailpiece because, I mean, from this point on, it's all going to be plastic. It's going to be PVC. I mean, your P-trap is plastic. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's not metal. But all your threading and stuff is on a metal thing. And I did say, you know, some of your more expensive faucets, this one is not priced too bad. And it is kind of, well, it's a residential faucet, homeowner, builder grade type stuff. We have our actual pop-up as well that goes with that. This is kind of 2 kits in one because this is your pop-up, it's your drain piece, and it's your faucet. They give you your basin nuts. This is what you're going to use to mount the faucet to the countertop or the sink. They also give you these two bonnet nuts here. Those were for old Specs style supply lines. You don't really see those a whole lot, but for some reason they still give them to you in the kit. When I was doing trim out type stuff, installing lots of faucets, I had a 5-gallon bucket that I would just throw those things in, and when I got enough of them, I'd take them off and get them recycled. Get 30 bucks or something for a whole bucket of them. Let's see, down here at the bottom we are gonna have one of these fancy little key looking things. This is an aerator removal tool, and this one is specific for this particular faucet. There's lots of different ones out there. They're different colors, but this one is made specifically for this faucet. So don't lose those. Put those in a drawer. You're going to need it later on. And then you get your red and blue indicators here. And these are just little indicators that go up under the caps. You don't have to use them. Some counties, some codes, some municipalities require that you have some form of indication on your faucet to tell whether it's hot or whether that's the cold side. But we pretty much know hot's on the left, cold's on the right, and that's the way it's going to be. But some people require an indicator, and I believe it is actually in the code that you require to indicate which side is what. And then we have our faucet itself. Now normally these faucets would be held to this plastic, this cardboard piece. I'm sorry, I'm getting out of camera. Would be held to this cardboard piece by your basin nuts, but in this application it did not do that. So there is your two-handle Moen Chateau faucet. It's pretty simple. There is some real thin metal on this. But actually this is a pretty heavy faucet in the chrome, and that's it for what's in our box. So you want to go ahead and take this thing apart. You know what, I did not see, that's what you get. There's not a black plastic piece, it's just the foam piece now. How about that? I don't know how well that's going to work. I am looking at that right now. Yep. Alright, so let's just go ahead and start taking this thing apart. Your faucets are going to have cartridges in here. Now, I know these caps pop off of here, but that's it. There's no screw or anything in there. It is just so you can put your hot and cold indicator rings under that. That's kind of neat. It doesn't go anywhere. Most of the time you pop that off and there's a screw in there. But that goes on like that. And there's your indicators if you want to do it like that. Me personally, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably leave it chrome, but my preference. Okay, we got two holes in the back here. See them back there on the handles? Let's see if it's that same Moen wrench. You know, sometimes these things came with their own little wrench, and it's not that one. I think I got it now. There we go. Well, that's pretty wild. Okay, I got you. Well, the directions don't help you much in here. It looked like it went down at an angle, but it's actually straight in. And there comes your handles. Whenever I take these things apart, I always try to keep them, you know, hot on one side, cold on the other side. Don't mix them up, because they do go back a certain way. And here again, we do have bonnet nuts. Let's see what Moen's using now. Everything pretty much nowadays has a cartridge. A while back, everything used to have little rubber washers and springs and seats and stuff. Look at that. We are also using that ceramic
attrition deal here as well. I'm starting to see a lot of faucet companies are going for those ceramic valves. I mean, they work. There's nothing really wrong with them. It's designed to wear out. Of course, that might be just old terminology that I'm still used to. But that's the cartridge for it. Go. And this little old bonnet nut. And it comes out the same on the other side. Ceramic. These are not marked like the Peerless was with the hot and the cold. So just remember how it came out so you can put it back together. And the only reason why you're ever really going to do this stuff is if you got something stuck in it. I mean, if it's brand new, now these things can wear out. And if it's sitting there drip, 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 dripping, you can go and buy cartridges for it. Most all of your hardware stores sell the cartridges. And that's something that I think's neat too, is whoever the builder was, say 20, 30 years ago in your local area, in your neighborhood, I know it's true here, but whatever products they were using in your area, your local hardware store, whoever it may be, they're more than likely going to carry that brand of stuff. I mean, you know, if where I live was 20, 30 years ago was just installing Kohler, there's a good chance I'm going to find a Kohler stuff. But if Moen wasn't really popular in that area at that time and I'm looking for Moen parts, my local hardware stores might not have it because that wasn't something that was widely used in that area. People aren't going in there asking for those parts, and they're only going to carry what people are buying. So just remember that. But you might be able to go across town and that's what they were using. It might have been a different builder. Who knows? All right, well, let's keep on moving here. Aerator. It's got this key, and it's like a castle nut is what we used to call them, because it looks like a parapet or whatever on top of a castle. But those little teeth lock in there, and it can be kind of a pain sometimes, but it locks in there, and it will unscrew. If you lose this little nut, well, I mean, you can buy them. They do sell them now. You can get a pair of needle nose pliers and get up in here and get on these little prongs and spin it out with that, with a needle nose. And this one is going to have your aerators inside, I mean your water saver inside of it. It's that little pink thing, and it will come off of there. You may have to crush it with your pair of pliers. Ooh. There it goes. There's your water saver. And sometimes that little pin in the middle of your water saver is actually what holds your screens and stuff together, so you can't actually take the whole thing out. But if you get rid of that plastic O-ring, that black O-ring right there, that's what's doing all of the water reduction. If you get rid of that, the thing is pretty much useless. We don't like water savers because we use tankless water heaters a lot. And tankless water heaters do not like to be restricted. They want to flow wide open. And we'll put this little guy back in here. You might have to take that aerator out because it could be full of sand, junk, dirt from your old plumbing system. See, I'm just putting it back in using my fingernails. You probably could get it tight doing that, but it is recessed. There you go. And let me show you this real quick while I'm thinking about it. Something that might be a good idea to have in your plumbing kit if you're a plumber. This is a whole set of aerators. It's every one you can think of. It's Delta, it's every single one. And look at all the different keys. There's a red one, there's a giant gray one, there's your green one, the little yellow one. But this is really neat. This is a full set of pretty much every one you're going to come across nowadays. Something neat to keep in your truck. All right, I thought we were about done, but we're not. We got to open this guy up. All right, it's got its pop-up connecting rod there. It's got its pop-up rod, which is the chrome piece that you see. It has this adjustable bracket system. You know, this is pretty much the same on all of your lavatory kits. This little deal here is pretty much the same, and these pop-ups are pretty much the same. I did a series, I did a video on how these things worked, and I did a lot of history and research, and there's not really any patents, there's not really an inventor, nobody's accredited to this, so I think they're just kind of generic for everybody. But this does unscrew. There's like a little compression nut in there, a little ferrule. So if you do take this apart, which you are going to have to take this apart to install it, because you have to take this nut off and that washer and the big rubber seal there, put some putty, silicone, drop it in, screw it back together, and then you put this on the bottom. You're not really going to have any problems with these. The only problems you're going to have with these is hair and stuff getting caught under the drain. Inside of here is where your pop-up arm is going to go. This piece here. Watch the tape. But there is a seal in here. Sometimes it's just one white plastic piece like that. Sometimes it's that, and then there's a black rubber washer behind that. So most of the time when you take this stuff apart, it's going to stay where it's supposed to be, but you're going to be doing all this under a sink. So just watch out for that, and of course that's how the whole deal works. But you might have to take that out at some point to get hair and junk. They made these things really neat. The 50-50 ones are the half and halves. This part's plastic. It's all done by hand. The metal ones, it's actually a nut, and you're going to have to get on it with your pliers. All right, that does it for our little Moen Chateau. If you'd like to know how to install this stuff, you can go dig back through the channel. I have lavatory installs. I believe I have this one. If not this one, it's the older style Moen with the little nuts and stuff. But as things come up, I'm going to keep making these videos. I've got a lot of faucets to go through that. So thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.